Good morning. I'm on my walk, and today is starting the third week of Becca's Bookoplathon, readathon, reading challenge. I'm surrounded by ducks. I don't know how many of them you can see. There's tons around me, literal tons, but I'm just stopping here to welcome you to this video and to let you know kind of what happened yesterday. I was supposed to read The Killing Moon for Own Voices, and I started it, and I read 25% of the book, and I had no clue what was going on. I wasn't interested. I was lost. I was confused. I wasn't enjoying myself, and I just feel like recently I've been just not enjoying myself as much as I was while reading. Gave myself permission to DNF that book. I didn't want to, hello wind, I didn't want to just ignore Own Voices because I thought that was important. I understand that a DNF counts in Becca's Bookoplathon, but I thought it would be good for me to read something else with Own Voices to make up in that category. So I asked a friend what I should pick up, and she suggested The Haunting of Tramcar 015. So my library had the audiobook. It's not long. I think it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I picked it up and I've just started listening to it. I think I'm maybe 20 minutes in as of right now, and I'm really enjoying it. In other news, yesterday I also decided to do some rolling. Before I show you that clip, I think this is going to be the last bit of rolling I do for a little while. I have a lot of books that I need to read this month that I haven't been able to roll for, and I have rolled 17 times. I fully plan on reading those 17 books this month, but there's some other ones I need to read. I'm nervous that if I keep rolling, it's just going to add other books that aren't those ones. For the time being, I'm going to be reading those 17 books, but I'm also going to be reading a few books that I haven't rolled for, and I think that's completely fair and totally fine. Without further ado, here's me yesterday rolling new books. Okay, 3 more rolls. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Both the dice went off screen, but it was a 6. Read a sad book. Okay, well, gotta try to figure out what that means. 6 again. 6. Set in the future. Okay, that one's pretty easy to understand. Have you guys noticed that I haven't gotten any doubles this entire month? 6 again? Oh my god, please don't be go. Oh, it was go. No. Okay, for me to do the randomize, what I'm doing is I'm counting how many books I still have left on my secret TBR for the month, which you can see a little bit of over here. And so there's 6 left, so I'm going to randomize it, and I'm going to be reading the 3rd book on that list. Okay, starting out at the top of my rolls, the first thing I got was sad book, and I contemplated a few different things for this one, but I finally settled on A Reaper at the Gates because I need to, is it A? It is A Reaper at the Gates, not The Reaper. I need to be reading this because my book club is all reading them recently, and this is the next one for me to read, and I have the audiobook loaned from my library so I can read and read along with it. The 4th one in that series is coming out in December, and I cannot wait for it. The next book that I'll be picking up was for the roll Set in the Future. And for this, I am going to be reading Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. So this is also a reread for me. You're gonna notice that pattern. I'm reading this for a video that'll be coming out sometime in October, and I'm really excited to get back into this world. For the next one, which was Go, Randomize Your TBR, I got the number 3, and when I looked at my TBR, I got the book The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and this is also a reread. This is also for a video that's coming out in October. This is also one I'm really excited about. Hello, it's the end of day Sunday, and I'm about to have some ice cream. I figured I would eat this on camera because I've been thinking about it literally all day and thought I would share my experience of eating it while I talk to you about my reading for the day. So I read The Haunting of Tramcar 015 today, 015. I told you this morning that I was starting it and I finished it. It's very short. It was a recommendation from a friend. It is checking off the prompt own voices. I really, really liked it. I was kind of shocked how much I liked it because it seems that when I look at like what the book is, there's a lot of stuff that I really dislike. For instance, it's a short story. I really dislike short stories. It's an urban fantasy. Can't stand urban fantasy. It is a alternate history. Tend to not like those, although I can be twisted to like them a little bit more. And it was steampunk, which I think I would like steampunk, but to this day, I haven't read one I've liked except for this book. I really enjoyed it. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I will talk a ton about that in my wrap up at the end of the month, but basically I didn't have any complaints about it at all. Let's try this bad boy now. Please be good. It's real good. It's really good. I love those. Like ice cream sandwiches with chocolate chip cookies. Something I forgot to tell you about yesterday. Damn, I forgot the book again. I mentioned this morning that I'm gonna be reading some books that aren't being rolled for Becca's Bookoplathon, and I'm not totally sure how that should work with me filming for Becca's Bookoplathon. So I guess I'm right now gonna move forward with the idea that I will tell you if I'm reading another book that's not for her thing, but I'm not going to like talk in depth about it. A book that I'm reading for another video that I started last night is, oh God, I used to love this series so freaking much, and my thrift store had it for really cheap and I need it for a video. I think you guys have kind of started to figure out, if you've been watching my experience this whole entire month, you start to figure out what videos might be coming out soon. If you haven't, that's totally fine. I haven't said anything about it except for which books I'm reading. You just might have been able to connect the dots. So I'm reading this. I'm only, I think, 30 pages in. Oh no, I'm much farther than that. I'm 50 pages in. I was hoping to knock out a good chunk tonight. And then I don't know which audiobook I'm gonna start next, but I will be starting one soon. Okay, I'm done with work for the day and I thought I would come and talk to you all while I try this tea I've been really wanting to try for a while now. I'm like a sucker for raspberry or berry flavored teas. Oh, the tab has a little peace sign on it. So when I saw this in the store, I knew I wanted to try it and I've been pushing it off, but today is the day. So I started A Reaper at the Gate this morning. I'm about 15-ish% through right now. I'm hoping to at least make it to 30% through today. Oh, that's really good. It's like really good. Oh my God, I'm gonna finish this in like 2 seconds. Wow, I love that. It reminds me a lot of the raspberry tea from the, oh, what's the company name? They sell like the 99-cent teas in the can, except this doesn't have the bitter aftertaste that that one does have. Yesterday, I also read approximately 100 and something pages of Maximum Ride. I'm hoping to get another 100 and something pages done today and then finish the book tomorrow. So I've been wanting to make another Goodreads shelf for a while now, and I was just kind of having a hard time with it because I didn't totally understand in my head what I wanted. I felt like there were many things that this shelf could become, but none of them were quite right. And I kind of wanted a shelf that I could glance at every once in a while to be like, okay, I have the funds and the want to buy a book. What book should I buy? Or I'm going to the library later. What book should I kind of look for? Or I'm needing something to read, where can I find something that'll fit these prompts? And I just felt like those were very different things in my head. And I also felt like I have my TBR shelf, I have my owned not read shelf, and I have my 2020 TBR shelf, which changes every single year. And so I just felt like there wasn't really a need for this extra shelf. But I've been finding myself more and more recently wanting to get cheap books online so that I can read them, and wanting to read more diversely, and wanting to only have books that I know I will love / when I go to try to buy books online, I panic and can't think of anything. What came out of that was for me to make a on my radar shelf, which was too long for me, so I just called it radar. And so I just made the shelf and I went through all of my want to read books, and I was able to add 53 books to my radar shelf. Generally speaking, these books are wide and vast and varied in everything that they are and all that they will do for me as a reader. So let me explain that really quickly. So on this shelf, I have a weird mix of books I want to read, but they're outside of my genre and I don't want to forget about them on my 400 plus want to read shelf. Books that I want to read because they have authors of color and they are fantasy. Books I want to read, but I'm trying to read more diversely and they do not fit that diverse mindset in any way that I've found, but I don't want to forget about them necessarily. Books that are really odd and I've heard no one talk about them and I keep seeming to forget about them every single time I go to the bookstore. Books that I've had my eye on for literal years now, and every single time I go to buy books or I go to the library, I seem to forget about them completely. And then also there are a few that are like books I've heard mention a few different places from people I trust that sound good, but they don't necessarily sound like something I would enjoy, but I'm trusting these people. Some of them are books that are by authors I've read other books by, and I'm really curious to check out their other ones. Books that I am looking forward to that are coming out soon, but I haven't pre-ordered them yet. I also do have a few on here that are books that just came out and I kind of want to keep my eye on them to see how well they do on Goodreads. And then I guess kind of the final category is books by authors that I haven't read yet, but I'm keeping my eye on, and if I decide to read from this author, this is where I'd like to start. That was a lot of different things. Basically, this shelf is kind of like books I want to get to as soon as possible, but maybe not in the next month or two. Let's talk about what I am reading. So I got to 70% of A Reaper at the Gates, which is approximately there. Actually, it's exactly there. I'm enjoying it, but not as much as I enjoyed book 1 and book 2 in the reread. So that's kind of disappointing. The last 30% will be the best part. I actually went back and reread my review recently, and I did say in the review that the ending is the best part. I have not picked up anything else today. Cool thing I just noticed before I go to take my shower, almost all of the books that I put on there have less than 1,000 reviews on Goodreads, which I think is cool. Well, I had a rough day at work, so I know you can't see it, but I'm wearing sweatpants now. I was matching the book I was reading, so that was great, but I came home and instantly wanted to take that off. I am home now and I'm no longer going to think about work. While I was there though, I was able to finish A Reaper at the Gates audiobook. I am really excited for the 4th book to be coming out in December, and I will definitely be picking up a copy, most likely listening to it since I listened to all of them this past time. But I didn't like this one as much as the second book. I actually felt exactly the same that I did the first time I read this book, which is funny because the first two I felt differently about. I will be talking about this a ton in my wrap up at the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, I will let you know that I ended up rating it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think the next book I'm going to be picking up is going to be Maze Runner because I have the physical book and the audiobook from my library. So the audiobook is not that long and I think I can knock it out really quickly, and then I'm gonna move into Jade War. Ha ha ha, I finished Maximum Ride. Yeah, loved it. Weirdly enough, I shouldn't have said that. Actually, scratch that. I'm not going to tell you how I felt about the book. I finished the book. We'll be talking about it completely in a video that'll be coming out. When is that video coming out? No, the second Friday in October, so it'll be October 9th. Get excited about that. I started the Maze Runner today. I was listening to the audiobook. I don't think the audiobook is the way to go for this book. I'm not loving it right now. I'm going to possibly switch that so that I was going to be reading physically, Mistborn while listening to the audiobook of Maze Runner, but I have both of both. So I think I'm gonna switch it and listen to the audiobook of Mistborn while reading the Maze Runner. See how that feels for a little bit. I might change that up again. The audiobook for Maze Runner is really short, so I might just try to stick it out, but I don't want the audiobook to change my experience of the book. As you just saw, I went to the library and picked up a few books today. So some of these books are books that are going to be a sneak peek for the rest of this month / the next 2 weeks during Bookoplathon. Some of the books are going to be spoilers for books that I'm going to be reading in October. That's really the only options. So let me start off by saying that I picked up Maximum Ride 2 and Maximum Ride 3. I don't know why one's a hardback and one's a paperback. Also though, this one is marked as just sci-fi, very, very confusing. And this one is marked as YA sci-fi. They were in different sections. Like I had to go to the adult fantasy section to get this book, and then I had to go to the young adult, like teenage section to get this book, and they're literally in the same series. This one comes first. Also, I don't know how the librarian checked me out and looked at this cover and then looked at me and didn't laugh. This cover's bad. It's so bad. I guess you know what? They've been raised, trained, taught to not laugh at people checking books out, because as long as you're reading, it's awesome. Then I also picked up Sins of Empire because I've been wanting to read this so bad. I have the audiobook, but I thought it would help to have this one so that while I'm reading it, it'll just be a lot easier. I've kind of learned with big adult epic fantasies, it's a lot easier if you start off the first few chapters physically reading and then switch to the audiobook, and then have the physical book for whenever you can listen, like read and listen to it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing with this. And then I also picked up The Two of Swords by KJ Parker, which I wanted to read his other series. I think it's like 16 ways, something, 16 ways to destroy a city, 16 ways to bring down a wall. It's something like that. I'll try to put it up on screen. But my library didn't have that one. They had this one, which was way less popular on Goodreads, And so I figured, hey, this would be a good chance for me to try out his writing and see if I think KJ Parker is a man. So KJ Parker is a pseudonym for a man named Tom Holt, who I do not know, but maybe you guys do. Let me know if he writes other stuff. So I figured I would check this one out and give it a try. And if I don't like it, I'm still gonna try the other one because the other one had way better reviews online. But this is a good start. And then the final book I picked up, which is one I've been eyeing in Barnes & Noble a lot, but I just can't stand short stories, is The Book of Dragons, which is a short story collective edited by Jonathan Strahan, which I know that name. I know that name from somewhere and I don't know where I know it from. Apparently it has an illustration inside. Oh, there's a few illustrations in the back. So this is a book of short stories all around dragons. It's very new. I've been seeing it like on the like new buy here at Barnes & Noble shelf. So I've been wanting to pick it up. Oh, the back tells me all the people who have written in it. I'm not gonna go through all of this because there's a long list of names. KJ Parker's on here. That's awesome. A lot of names people will recognize are on this list. Oh my God, I recognize Donna McGuire's on this list, Scott Lynch, Anne Leckie is on this list. I love her. Garth Nix, Arf Kwong, J.Y. Yang, Ken Liu, Zen Cho. So many names on this list, and I think that it is a large, diverse group of people reading this. My goal is for the rest of this month of September. I gotta see how many stories are in here, but I want to read one a day and then finish this up in the month of September. So there's about 30 short stories in here, so I might actually have to read 2 a day to do that goal, because I think right now is the 16th of the month, so that'll be perfect if I read 2 a day. So yeah, here's my pile that I got from the library, and I'm really excited to check those ones out. My pizza's almost done. I'm hungry. Here's kind of where I'm at with reading for today. So I'm officially in the middle of 4 books. So I read 50 pages of Maximum Ride, School's Out Forever, and I'm loving it, and I'm probably going to read a little bit more tonight when I get back from family dinner. And then I started I had already read 3 chapters, read 2 more chapters of The Maze Runner. I decided to switch back to the audiobook. I read 1 chapter and I was like, I'm bored with this. So I switched back to the audiobook, and then I read the first 2 stories of the Book of Dragons. So I'm caught up for my section for today in this book. And now I am starting Mistborn. Finally, we've been talking about this for a while. So I have the audiobook and I have the physical book. My plan is right now to listen to the audiobook while I read the book, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. I don't know if I'm gonna be switching to the audiobook or to just the physical once I get to a certain point. I don't really have a preference for this series. I think that either way was a good decision for me. But since I've already read it once and I have so many other physical books that I'm trying to read at the moment, audio might be the option. Well, it's end of day Thursday and I haven't updated you guys yet. I just got out of the shower, so I'm clean and fresh. Last night I read half a chapter of Mistborn after I stopped talking to you all. This is not where I'm at. I read about 40% of The Maze Runner today, which puts me at the 50% mark. I'm doing a whole video on this, so I'm not going to talk about my feelings here. I then read my 2 stories for the Book of Dragons, which I didn't enjoy either of the stories I read yesterday, and I didn't enjoy either of the stories I read today. So that puts me at page 67. I'm going to continue giving it a shot for at least a few more short stories, and then what I've decided I'll do is I will just kind of start like the first page of every single short story until the end of the book, seeing whether or not I actually like any of them. And then I read approximately 50 pages of Maximum Ride School's Out Forever, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot, and I'm really having a hard time with the emotions of me loving this book. I think I'm gonna sit down right now and knock out another little bit of the book. I still need to basically read all of Mistborn. I need to read the entirety of Words of Radiance. I need to read the entirety of The Sorcerer of the Wind Deeps, which is only like 200 pages, so I could probably knock that out really quickly. I need to read the entirety of Jade War, which makes me a little bit nervous. And then I need to read the entirety of Uglies and 50% of The Maze Runner. Be able to do it. I can do it. I believe in myself. I just need to write out how many like hours and how many pages I need to read every single day for the rest of the month. Maybe give myself 1 gap day and sit down and actually do that. So maybe I'll sit down and add up all the math for that right now. Since we're at it, we're gonna count this book instead of Uglies for set in the future. I'm just calling it right now. There's a good bunch of it that's already set in the future. Doing it. We're doing it. I'm not even gonna wait until tomorrow. We're doing it. Well, I'm off work. It is the weekend and I am planning on doing a lot of reading this weekend. Right now, I am on my way to have lunch with my mom and my aunt and my grandma, which will be super duper nice. But I wanted to come in really quickly and let you all know that I just finished The Maze Runner. I am not sure about any of my thoughts, so go watch the video. All I want to say is I really don't know what to say about my experience of rereading that book. I did the math last night of how much I need to read every single day. I need to read somewhere around 80 to 90 pages every single day and 3 to 4 hours of an audiobook every single day. Finishing The Maze Runner wasn't even enough audio for me to finish what I need to do today, but I don't know if I want to start something right away. I only need like an extra hour and I might save that for tomorrow. I don't know. I might start something later tonight, and by start something I mean I'm gonna be moving on to Jade War. I'm gonna go to lunch. I'm gonna run home and I think I have a package waiting for me, so we're gonna see some book mail and then I'm gonna read and then I'm going to figure out which audiobook I'm starting. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. It's book mail time! My friend Jo sent me a package and she told me recently, whenever she bought it, that she was sending me a book. And she wouldn't tell me what book it was, and I'm glad. I wanted to be surprised, but she told me that it was a hardback of a book that they don't sell in hardback in the United States, and that it was something I already own, and that it was kind of rare. At first, before she gave me all of those clues, and she told me it was signed, I was like, oh, is it Nevernight? Because that'd be really funny if she sent me Nevernight, because we read Nevernight together, and we both somewhat liked it but didn't like the later books in the series. And then I was like, no, she's gonna send me Priory because that'd be funny because we read that together and both didn't love it. But when she told me that it was kind of rare and that the hardbacks weren't sold in the United States, I knew it was neither of those. So my only guess right now is that she bought me my favorite book in the entire world, which is Legacy of Ash, which I don't think is actually what she bought me because I don't think they sell that in hardback. We're gonna open it now. Stop stalling. I've been waiting for this package for weeks now. I've literally, I think I've had one book bought for me in my life as a gift, and it's actually, oh, you can't see it. It's the 6th Harry Potter. My parents bought it for me for my birthday one year, and I am pretty sure that that is the only book I've ever received as a gift. All the other ones I've either bought for myself or they've been hand-me-down. I'm really excited about this. Oh, bubble wrap. She told me not to judge her wrapping skills, but I think it's pretty, so. Oh, her handwriting is so good. I know she hates people pointing it out, but it's immaculate. Oh my God, there's so many cute notes on here. I'm not showing them all to you guys because it's for me, not for you. But I'm gonna stick them around my room, probably on my bulletin board. Open me here, surprise. This is the front of the book. Yes, I messed up the wrapping paper. Insert smiling devil face. Oh my God, she's gonna make me cry. More, this is the front of the book notes. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is the back of the book. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna read her note off camera. She did. She bought me. In case you don't know, I'm gonna take a minute because I can't talk to the camera right now. Oh my God. In case you don't know, I did a video a few months ago, maybe it was at this point, talking about this book, Legacy of Ash, which I picked up because Orbit mentioned on their Instagram that it was coming out this year and it looked really pretty and the summary sounded good, and I had it on my shelf for a while because it just didn't have a lot of ratings and reviews and I was kind of hesitant to pick it up. It's so big. I picked it up and it's literally my favorite book I've ever read. Like, I dream of rereading it almost every single day since I've read it, and the sequel comes out in November and I am in love. I'm in freaking love with this. Oh my God, and it's signed. Oh, it's so pretty. I never thought I would have a copy of this. Joe, I know you're gonna be watching. I know you're gonna know this before this video comes up because I'm gonna text you as soon as this finishes, but I love it so much. Oh my God. And if you haven't read this book, go pick it up right now because this is the greatest book I've ever read. Orange, and I love it, and I love it, and I'm never getting rid of this book, and I cherish it so much. And I'm probably gonna reread it really soon, so Joe, if you want to do a buddy read, let me know. So you're in the microwave while I talk to you because I'm cooking soup. Today I was really tired, like all freaking day long. I felt exhausted. So I came home, finished the book earlier today while I was at work, went to lunch with my family, came home, you saw the emotionalness of me opening up my package, and then I didn't read. I didn't read at all the rest of the day. Right around 7 o'clock, I was like, I haven't read anything. Edited my best friend's novel that he's writing because I am his editor and I hadn't done anything for that in about 2 to 3 weeks. At around 7 o'clock, I was like, I haven't eaten dinner. I'm exhausted. I could go to bed right now. And I forced myself instead to go to the gym, which I haven't been to a gym in a while. I walk every day. I try to walk 5 miles every single day, and it felt really good and I feel energized now, and that's awesome. And I think that I've been feeling really exhausted recently, and part of that is because I haven't been working out. So I think I'm gonna have to try to find some way to make that a priority again. While I was running / walking, I was listening to Jade War. I wasn't wanting to pick it up. I really wasn't interested in reading this book right now. I always feel like I end first books and I'm like, yeah, I really enjoyed that, but I could never pick up the sequel and be perfectly content with myself. Honestly, even though I really enjoyed the first book, I might have never picked up the sequel if it wasn't for this. And I'm enjoying it. It's got some moments that I don't love, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying it. My goal is to finish that this weekend. I would love to finish it tomorrow. I also know that it's really long, so odds of me finishing it in 1.5 days is kind of low. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the microwave. Hello, are we in my closet? Yes. Am I only updating you one time today? Yes. Am I drinking an alcoholic beverage? that answered your question. This is really dark in here. I wanted to film in here because it's dark everywhere else and I don't want to turn on any lights because I have a horrible circadian rhythm. Today I listened to 2 chapters of Mistborn, which went well. I should be listening to Jade War, but I think I've mentally put that book on pause. I'm enjoying it. It's just every single time I stop listening to it, there's absolutely 0% of me that wants to go back to it. Biggest progress I have made today is I'm almost done with Maximum Ride School's Out Forever. I'm a piece of shit. I have officially 40 pages left and I'm about to sit down with this and finish it up and let you all know how it goes. I have 40 pages of this left, but I can already tell you exactly what I'm gonna rate it and what my thoughts are on the book. So I'm gonna do that really quickly for you all. I'm gonna rate this book 3.75 out of 5 stars. I wanna rate it 4 stars, but there was one of those fight scenes in this book where a female character was the protagonist and was going to fight a male character who was the antagonist, and then right at the last second, a male character who is friends with the female character stepped in and fought in her place, and I didn't like that. I really didn't like it. But other than that, everything I felt about the first book is exactly how I'm feeling about this book. But I refuse to rate it 4 stars just because of that one fight scene, which was basically like 2 pages long. That's all I have this week. Let me know how your week is going with Bookoplathon, if you're still doing it. I am at my wit's end with it, I'll tell you that much. I'm very much ready for it to be October, where I can read books again however I would like to read them. Thank you for watching. If you've read any of these books, let me know down below. Sorry the lighting sucks in this last clip. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I will talk to you all in the comments. Bye-bye!